Noon, the dining room already smelled like perfume and hot fat and nerves. Mother's Day always did that. People dressed nicer than their moods, arriving hungry and already disappointed. Tied my apron tighter and ran the numbers in my head the way I always did on doubles rent in 3 days, tuition payment in 2 weeks, tips deciding whether I slept easy or not at all. I had worked here long enough that my body knew the room better than my thoughts did. Reach, pivot, smile, listen. Don't rush grief or joy, both slow people down. I was carrying waters to a 6 top when I heard my mother laugh. It wasn't loud at first, just familiar. A sound from kitchens I no longer lived in. I stopped, then kept going. New people arrived all the time. Mothers laughed everywhere. Told myself that, and set the glasses down, condensation rings blooming on the tablecloth. Then I heard my sister's voice. Higher now. Tighter. I turned. They were seated near the windows, where the light makes everyone look kinder than they are. My mother's hair was freshly done, her coat draped carefully over the chair like she intended to be seen leaving. Sister was scrolling her phone with one hand, the other already holding a mimosa. I stood there a beat too long. My mother looked up. There was a flicker, recognition, calculation, and then her face arranged itself into something theatrical. She tilted her head, just enough. "Oh," she said, and let the room hear it. "We didn't realize you worked here. How embarrassing for us." She smiled as if she'd said something clever. I felt heat move up my neck, but it didn't explode. It just settled. Was suddenly aware of 6 nearby tables going quiet in that way people do when a scene might be forming and they want to be ready to deny watching it. Sister didn't look at me. She stirred her drink. I thought of 100 things I could say. None of them belonged to the person I'd become. None of them would pay tuition. So I smiled. Smile I used when someone sent back a perfect steak because they'd ordered medium, but meant medium well. Picked up the menu from the table. "I'll grab your server," I said. 4 words. Even. Polite. Finished. I didn't wait for a response. Stepped away before my mother could decide whether to laugh or protest or call my name like I was still 12 and late for dinner. Behind me, I felt the moment wobble. The humiliation had been meant to land and stay put. Instead, it had nowhere to go. Back to the service station and refilled coffees. My hands were steady. That surprised me. I rang in an order for table 12. The world did not end. Plates clattered. Someone asked for extra lemon. From the corner of my eye, I saw my manager look up. He'd been in the office doing schedules, already irritated by the day. He watched my mother's table, then watched me cross the floor without approaching it. He watched the nearby guests lean back into their conversations, disappointed. Felt him at my side before he spoke. "Everything okay?" he asked quietly. "Yes," I said, which was true in the way that mattered. "They need a server." He followed my gaze. Something in my face must have been legible. He nodded once and moved. Minute later he was walking fast across the dining room, black apron swinging, posture all business. People noticed. Authority always makes a different sound when it moves. He stopped at my mother's table. He didn't smile. "Good afternoon," he said, voice carrying just enough. "I'm the floor manager." My mother brightened automatically. "Oh, hi. We were just—" Understand there was some confusion. He continued. "Would take guest and staff interactions seriously here, handling your table personally." Confusion. The word sat there, neutral and heavy. My mother blinked. "Oh, not necessary." "It is," he said pleasantly. "And just so you're aware, we don't allow comments that make our staff uncomfortable. If that's a concern today, I can also arrange takeout." There it was. Policy, not punishment. No raised voices. No spectacle. Just a boundary with weight behind it. The table next to them went very still. Sister finally looked up. My mother's smile tightened. "Of course. We didn't mean anything by it." "I'm sure," he said. "What can I get started for you?" He pulled out his notepad. The decision had already been made. The room felt it and moved on. Watch the rest. I took food to table 9 and explained the specials. Someone complimented my earrings. The shift absorbed the incident the way it absorbed everything, without ceremony. Later, as I passed the windows, I saw my mother speaking in a lower voice than I'd ever heard her use in public. My sister nodded, eyes down, didn't look up when I went by. They ate, they paid, they left. There was no apology waiting in the hallway, no confrontation. Just the bell over the door and the return of noise. Near the end of the rush, my manager caught my eye and gave a small nod. Not heroic, not paternal, just acknowledgement. When my shift ended, my feet ached and my apron smelled like citrus and sweat. I counted my tips twice. They were enough. Outside, the afternoon had softened. People were still celebrating, still disappointing each other, still trying. To my car with the quiet sense that something had shifted, not between my mother and me, not cleanly, but inside my own chest. Hadn't won anything. I hadn't lost myself either. Sometimes dignity doesn't look like standing up.